Let me ask you in a little bit more detail about that, because this is money that has come presumably from current budgets and is going to go to Northern Ireland. And the problem with it is, from now on, every single time somebody asks for money for teachers or nurses or housing, whatever it might be, and the government says, there is no magic money tree, they say, oh, yes, there is. We've just seen it in Northern Ireland.
Well, that argument can always be made. You can always say, well, you found money for priority X, you can find money for priority Y. I don't think anyone, including the Labour Party, argues that we shouldn't invest in Northern Ireland and that we shouldn't also ensure that those people who've paid throughout their lives into the welfare state also receive those benefits.
It's a bit more than X and Y. It's you can't find money for this, that or the other that the public want. But when it's the jobs of the Cabinet, when it's your job, when it's Theresa May's job, when it's keeping you secure in your Cabinet seats, bingo, suddenly £1 billion is able to be found.
No, I think that there is only one way in which we could have a secure government in this country, that's with Theresa May as Prime Minister. And it's also the case that in order to ensure that we have a secure and stable government over the course of the next 5 years, that we talked to parties in the House. The DUP were prepared to support the Conservatives on a confidence and supply basis. In essence, they want to ensure, as we want to ensure, that the United Kingdom is stronger over the course of the next 5 years, and also that we have an economic policy which ensures that we continue to have growth and that we continue to bear down on the deficit. The alternative would have been to allow Jeremy Corbyn to take over. That would have meant higher taxes and, in due course, our economy going over a cliff and less money for everyone. So, in that sense, making sure not just that Theresa is Prime Minister, but also that Philip is Chancellor of the Exchequer
ensures £1 billion.
It ensures that we can continue to pursue the policies which are generating growth and bearing down on the deficit. But I do think that your characterisation of it, if I may say so, is to focus in on one area of public spending at the expense of every other area of public spending.
I was treating it as if it was a bung.
Well, I think that's unfair. I think that's unfair to the people of Northern Ireland, and I think it's also unfair to the way in which, during this negotiation, decisions were taken in the interests of everyone in the United Kingdom. And the question I have to ask is, of course we spend more money on different parts of the United Kingdom. We spend more money on Scotland. We spend more money on Wales.
But
we spend more money on the North of England.
They don't get any more as a result of this deal, do they?
No, but in the past, it has been the case that we have deliberately ensured that those parts of the United Kingdom that have additional needs are supported more generously. And I don't think anyone could say that the legacy of the Troubles is anything other than a melancholy one. We want to ensure that Northern Ireland and all its communities can emerge from that process stronger.
Now
and one of the criticisms...
You've just said...
No, just a second. Bung is... the implication is...
It's a pejorative word. I meant it pejoratively.
It is a bit... Of course,
yes.
It is.
Yeah.
But it implies that this money is somehow going to the DUP on their own, as though it were a partisan deal. It's not. It's about strengthening the whole United Kingdom and helping people in one of its most vulnerable areas.
Let's just reflect a little bit more on the sheer oddness of all of this. You have just lauded the fact that the triple lock is now going to be safe. The triple lock was only threatened because it was in your manifesto to threaten it. And therefore you have been rolled over, and you're saying, yay, we've been rolled over.
No, I'm
odd, you have to say. Well, you have to admit it's very odd.
No, I think it's absolutely right that we should, after a general election which we didn't secure a majority, that we should have the opportunity to be able to review how we help the most vulnerable in our society.
Can we at least determine that there is not going to be another big amount of money, I won't call it a bung, another large amount of money paid to the DUP, because Lord Macpherson, the former Permanent Secretary of the Treasury, said they'll be back for more. I think Chris Patten said the same thing. They'll be back, you know.
Well, first of all, it was Sir Nicholas Macpherson, not Lord Macpherson. And secondly, the money doesn't go to the DUP. As I've pointed out,
it goes to their voters. It goes to their voters who then support them.
It also goes to Sinn Féin voters and SDLP voters and Alliance voters. It goes to the people of Northern Ireland. Now, I think that there is a tendency, which some fall prey to, which I know that you don't, Andrew, to somehow suggest that the people of Northern Ireland don't deserve this money and that the DUP are somehow...
It's just that I think a lot of people out there say, yes, and so do I. Across Shropshire and Perthshire and parts of Wales, people are saying, yes, they do deserve it, and so do I. But I don't get it because I can't hold the Conservative Party to ransom.
I do think that you characterised it as money for the DUP. It is, in fact, money for the people of Northern Ireland. But more broadly than that, we allocate money on the basis of making sure that we can help those who are experiencing, at any given time, additional strains, those people who are vulnerable, those people who need the support of the state most. And critically also,
we want to ensure that the United Kingdom
is stronger as a result of the next 5 years in government, and this will help cement the ties between all the people of these islands, Protestant and Catholic, Northern Irish, Scottish, Welsh and English.